Hi all. So today we are going to discuss about the cooking oils that we are consuming. Today, if you know, our whole environment is polluted. Your water, your air, the soil that you grow your food on, everything is polluted. You don't have much control on certain things, like you have to breathe what you have to breathe. You can put in a room, you can put in the air purifier to breathe in the fresh air. But what about the soil? The soil is still polluted, but you can pick and choose the food that you want to ingest in your body. For water, you can at the most filter the water. So let's talk about the food that we're going to eat. If you're eating raw food, well and good, choose organic. But when you are cooking the food that you're consuming, what you can do is when you cook the food, the basic thing to do is you use some type of oil or some type of butter to start the cooking process. And that is where you need to pay most attention to the type of oil you're using. You need to learn to read the labels. And before you can learn to read the labels, you need to know what those labels actually mean. So let's get into the details. So there are different types of oil extraction that are being used today. The two most common types of oil extraction, one of them is expeller pressed. The machine squeezes the oil by applying pressure on it in an uncontrolled temperature. So the temperature can go beyond 120 degrees Fahrenheit. Cold pressed is again squeezing the oil out of the seeds of fruits with applying pressure and friction, but in the temperature where in the environment where the temperature is controlled. Now, what is pressed and refined oil? If the extraction is done just by pressing the oil, which is expeller pressed or cold pressed, that means that the oil is considered virgin. That's where the label virgin oil comes from. If the extraction is, if after extracting the oil, if the oil is passed through solvents to to give it certain to improve its durability or smell or taste or the look and feel, that is what is called refined oil. What are the different types of refinement that our oil goes through? Bleaching. This process is done to, remove the pigments from the oil and give our oil a very neutral color, which is eye pleasing. This is done to, make the oil um, impress its users. If I put it in straight words. Deodorization. Every oil has specific unique smell. Some oils have stronger smell, like mustard oil, sunflower oil. These have very strong smell. So these type of oils are deodorized by passing them through certain chemicals or adding certain chemicals in them, which reduces its innate smell. This is again to please the consumer. What I've seen is that most of the mustard oil which is being sold in US, I don't know what is happening in India, but in US it's deodorized. You when you open the can, you don't get that strong smell of the mustard oil. Dewaxing and winterization. This is done to remove certain crystal causing compounds and also to remove the triglyceride. This is done, because when the oil is being produced in mass quantity, it might sit on the shelf for longer duration. So that is why dewaxing and winterization is done. But why this chemical extraction? Because firstly, it is believed to be the most efficient way to remove the oil from nuts, seeds, fruits by producing least waste. And once the oil is extracted naturally, it is passed through chemical extraction process, which we discussed before, which is the hexane extraction. And then the oils are bleached to purify them. Then the oils are deodorized to remove the specific odor, and then they are brought through winterization and winterization to remove the crystal causing chemicals, as we discussed above. We really don't need all these processes, but this is done so that the oil looks beautiful to the masses and more number of people use it. So what are the chemicals that are used in refinement? Certain chemicals that you would read on the labels are hexane, TBHQ, benzene, sulfur dioxide, petroleum coke, hydrofluoric acid, phenol. I've seen TBHQ specifically mentioned on very famous brands of mustard oil. Like in this picture, you can see it's the Dabur mustard oil and has specifically being mentioned TBHQ. All these chemicals mentioned on the list causes some or the other type of disease in your body. Reality of chemicals extraction. It's being the companies have created a myth that refined oil is very suitable to the human consumption. Why do they do that? Because they can extract more oil from less number of seeds. There's a bigger profit margin, and then business doesn't care about your health. They don't need to worry about your health. They just need to worry about their bank balance. It's you who need to worry about your health. What are some of the dangers of consuming refined oils? If you look around yourself, you would see a stark rise in the people having cancer, gastrointestinal inflammation, reproductive issues, diabetes. Their immunity has gone down. If you look at this, if you look at how the medicine has evolved in last 100 years, by that, if you go by that notion that the medicine has evolved so much, your health should have evolved too. We should be falling less sick, rather we are falling more sick. Every other family will have someone who is suffering from cancer, or who is suffering from some or the other type of gastrointestinal disorder, reproductive issues. People are falling sick left and right. Obviously, I won't count obesity, because obesity also matters. If you're having a stale lifestyle, or if you're not watching what you're eating, then yes. But then again, obesity is also caused by using refined oils. We cannot deny that fact. So look for oils which have mentioned labels like, naturally refined or no refinement at all. What is natural refinement? After extracting the oil through expeller pressed or through cold pressed, the oil is passed through some kind of straining process. This is just to, remove certain unfiltered product out of it. So imagine when you're squeezing the lemon, you sometimes get seed, or you sometimes get those, lemon particles. It's that kind of process where you remove those things, where you remove those particles from the oil and give it a smooth finish. No chemicals involved whatsoever. This is the flow chart of, where you are in the refinement process. As long as your oil is going through pressing, and then the raw oil is right here, you're good. You can consume this oil. But as and when your oil start moving towards this chemical refinement, where hexane is coming into picture, and then you're bleaching, deodorizing, that is not oil. That is chemical that you're consuming, which is not good, or I should say really, really bad. Learn to read your labels. Your oil should contain the labels like cold pressed, expeller pressed, virgin, naturally refined. In all these pictures, if you see, I have mentioned what are those labels that you should keep an eye on. So, no, also along with reading the label, understanding what those labels are, you should know the oil that you're consuming. Like, I use mustard oil, coconut oil, sunflower oil. So I can give an example, like mustard oil should be dark in color. It should have strong aroma. And when you heat it, it starts to froth. Any common oil that you see in the shelves of our Indian store, when you bring them home, heat them, they never froth. There is no strong aroma. They are deodorized oil. They have chemicals in them. Just throw them out of the shelf. At least I have thrown them. Coconut oil. If you go in any grocery store, you might find two types of coconut oil. One that is liquid, other that is solid. The one that is in solid state is the real oil. Pick that up. Never touch the coconut oil that is in liquid state in a grocery store oil, because in US, all the grocery stores maintain the temperature 72 degrees Fahrenheit or lower, and a coconut oil at that temperature can never stay in liquid state. Sunflower oil. Sunflower oil needs to be dark yellow in color. And when you heat that oil, you can smell the aroma, which is not so pleasing, but it doesn't bring any difference in the food taste. That is when you know that you have the real sunflower oil. So I would suggest, if you use any different type of oil, talk to your moms, to your grandparents if you have. They are the people who would be able to tell you what the real oil actually tasted or smelled or looked like. I hope this video was informative. And if you think yes, then, please like, subscribe, and share this video and make people aware of what they are using, intaking. And hopefully, this video was inspiring enough for you to go right away check the labels on your oil. And if they are refined oils, just throw them out of the shelf. Just throw them in the garbage. There is no use of putting extra chemicals in your body when you know that it has chemicals. So I hope you like this video. Again, please like, subscribe, and share. Thank you.